I love a tasting menu.
I'm just because so I'm assuming when you say here, I'm reading her notes for like she always makes some notes that I can help.
That you can kind of read.
That I can try to translate into English.
Yeah.
But it says traditional tea service. So is that just saying like, oh, it's just like a tea service, like, you know, a standard tea service, or is it a traditional to Japanese culture?
It's a traditional Japanese tea service, which I'm pumped about.
That's going to be fun.
I've never done, and I'm going to try and do that when I'm in Europe this summer. But like
have tea and crumpets with the Queen.
No, I've done tea service. Like first off, I love a tea service. Holy shit! And if there's a great tea service, obviously in the Great Floridian, but I love a tea service. But there's some places you can go. Where was I? Not recently, I guess, but like they'll do they'll do a tea service, but they'll also do a Japanese tea service, which I've never done, and I've wanted to do so bad, and I am dying to do the traditional tea service there. I can't wait till like the menu, like the whole thing comes out.
Oh, you know, listeners, if you listen to anything that we've posted about food and restaurants, we try to give you guys like a breakdown of our opinion on what the menu sounds like. So you know that's going to come.
That's going to come.
That'll be up in summertime.
This summer, guys. I am so excited. I cannot wait. That is the most appropriate use of that term. Oh, I'm pumped. I love that pavilion so much. It photographs unbelievably. I think it's my favorite pavilion to photograph at night. That in Morocco.
I love Morocco. And they're right next to each other, which is great.
Did I send you my picture of the phallic wall in Morocco?
Oh, I've seen it. Yes, I saw that picture.
You know what's my favorite thing about the phallic wall? Other than taking pictures of it because it's hysterical. But also, like, there's always, like, big
it's in the shape of one of my favorite food groups.
There it is. And also, it's always, like, big groups of gay guys who, like, go and take pictures around it. It is my favorite activity.
Yeah, it's kind of like a shrine, you know?
Well, sure.
It's kind of like, okay, so in San Francisco, that's like the Mecca, you know? Like, that's where you have to make a pilgrimage to Sacramento as a homosexual one time in your life.
Sure.
And then if you can't make it there, then you can say all your sins to the phallic wall at Morocco.
I didn't get to take, like, I was trying to, like, I don't know why I thought I needed to be very sneaky about taking the picture of the phallic wall. But, like, I was like, like, I just took it, like, really, really fast. And I was like, I'm sure, like, people walking, because it's in a very random corner of Morocco. It's kind of hard to find. And so I think it's actually where my brother-in-law and my husband shotgun beers, but in the back of Morocco, which is a terrible slight to their culture. But yeah, it's awesome when you see like a bunch of guys just come around and just like hug the phallic wall. It's fantastic. It's an adult podcast. It's fine. It's a giant penis, guys. It's fantastic. If you ever get a chance, make sure you visit the phallic wall.
The phallic wall in Morocco.
It's so funny. So that's like my second favorite thing to photograph outside of Japan. Because I'm a child. I'm a 15-year-old boy.
And you all know that I have a second Instagram just for the Lights at Disney called Lights at Disney. And there are a bazillion different lights in Morocco alone.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It really is.
Like so many different lanterns.
Yeah. But I'm pumped.
Like at least 136 trillion.
I mean, like, if we go in August, we got to go to this tea service. I'm telling you.
Oh, for sure. I'm down. I'll sell my left boob picture.
Side boob.
Side boob. Speaking of side boob, let's get into the Disney Legends. Just kidding.
That should be our title. Speaking of side boob, let's talk about Disney Legends. Holy shit, that's so funny. I'm dying. Oh, God, that's funny. Oh, yeah, guys, Disney Legends.
Right. So there is a whole list of them that are going to be honored as new Disney Legends at the August 23rd D23. And there's a list. And I mean, just a few names. There's Robert Downey Jr., Bette Midler, Ron Roberts, Diane Sanger. Like, there's so many people on this list. Like, it's just Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
There's 11.
6, 7, 8, 9. There's a lot.
There's 11 people, and I didn't realize that they were announced. I didn't know that it came out this week, and they're not announced. So they'll do the formal award ceremony at D23.
Do we know how often they, I guess, inaugurate people into being a titled Disney legend?
Yeah, it's an annual event, but this is like a big class. I don't think they normally inaugurate this many people.
Okay, see, I wasn't aware of that. Because like when I think Disney legends, I think of like the old animators,
right?
And like Alice, the one who created all the Small World characters and stuff. I didn't realize that this was an annual thing.
Yeah, the cool thing about it is that like the class is really big, and it's obviously very significant for this year. Once we go through some of the names, but it's awesome, and it's in D23, August 23rd. For those of you who are going,
how fun is that date?
August 23rd.
D23, August 23rd.
Look at you! I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. Okay,
cute. Disney, you cute.
You cute, Disney. Are you part of D23? Do you belong?
No, but my mommy is.
I just registered recently. I still haven't gotten my packet yet, so I don't know what the hell they waiting for.
It took a long time for my mom to get hers. Yeah. I just don't know. People are going to stab me. Is it worth it? I guess maybe it would be, considering now we're doing these podcasts about Disney news and upcomings and happenings.
Yeah, and I think you get invites to certain events and what have you. And I think you get like special access like at D23, at like the main event in Anaheim, which part of me does kind of want to go. But the only con, and I've talked about this before, the only conference I've ever been to is Broadway Con. And it was so many kids like just acting fools. And so I was just like, I'm just not here to dress up and shit. Like I want to go to some of the panels, but also like I'm short. So I'm not here to like stand because I can't see. So it's like part of me really wants to go to D23 because a lot of like the influencers obviously go to D23, but like, I don't know.
Well, if my travel agency popping off hopefully late August does successful and I can get like a business card and charge it to the game and research, I'll definitely go down there.
Yeah.
And then shoot all of the tea services on me.
Yes.
Because I can pay it off. Why spend my money now and I can get a credit card and spend it later? I'm going to be a successful businessman one day. Listen to me.
Do you think like, all the influencers, I mean, because like the real big influencers, like that's their job. And so like, do they just write everything off? Like their annual pass?
I would. I absolutely, when I start digging into my business, like I will be writing off everything as research because I'm going to try all new things. Spend more than I usually do on a hotel. Like I usually go for the value, but like, how am I going to say, hey client, you should definitely get this contemporary room and give me lots of, what's that word called when I get money for giving them things?
Charity?
No, I get money because they booked a room through me.
Commission.
Oh. Like, the contemporary room, I'll get the commission, but I've never stayed in that room and it actually is crap, right. That's not cool. So I got a lot of research to do. I can talk about the Swan after my trip
there you go.
This week. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to talk about the Swan with you because I've stayed there quite a few times, so I can't wait to hear your reaction about it.
I'm excited because I'm going to be doing something super new that I've never done before on this trip. So apparently you can go out on a boat on the Seven Seas Lagoon during the fireworks show. You can. And I'm doing that.
But don't you pay for that?
Yes.
I'm excited for you. I'm so jealous.
Travel Dream has purchased the package. And all the smaller boats were sold out, so he got a larger one. And so he's like, hey, like I know you guys are going to be at the park, but if you guys want to join us, like I would love for you to join us and bring your cousins. So now Matt and my cousins are also going to be able to go.
That is so
and
awesome.
experience this. So I think that's really cool of him. And I talk about him a lot on this show. So if you guys aren't following him, please go follow Eat, Drink, Travel, Dream on Instagram. Like he goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Like on a weekend, he'll just be like, I'm going to go to Puerto Rico and go to Puerto Rico, you know? So.
Amazing life. But let's talk about some of the Disney legends.
The legends. Yeah, I got sidetracked.
We'll go through the whole,
as always.
No, we'll go through the list. So there's 11 people being honored. So we'll go through the majority of them. I think we'll go through most of them and give our opinions and why we love these folks. We have about 10 minutes left to finish this episode. So the first one is Robert Downey Jr. OBS.
He is the godfather of superheroes. So obviously.
Yeah, obviously he's made such a mark in Marvel and the overall, especially because John. So the another person that's being honored is Jon Favreau, who was the original director of Iron Man. He was in you probably saw him in Endgame after spoiler PS Iron Man dies, and he was there taking care of his, and I think he worked with Iron Man. I forget what happened. I haven't watched Iron Man in a long time, but he's also directed a lot of Disney films like The Jungle Book and most recently coming up The Lion King live action. So Ooh. Yeah, so that's super cool that they're honoring them together. The next one is Bette Midler. I love her so much.
Which I'm excited because raise your hand if you don't like Hocus Pocus. Now slap yourself with it, because if you don't, you're wrong. Like it's just that's Halloween, and like Halloween. That's the Disney Halloween movie.
I hate Halloween, but I love Hocus Pocus.
It's so much fun.
I will deal with in Halloween. And you know what? This is what I loved so much is that if you look at the actual press release from Disney, it's on Business Wire. You can, where you find most press releases. But like when they listed, they gave a description for like every person who's being nominated. And what I loved so much is that they also talked about her big contribution to Touchstone, which was a new division of Disney back in the mid 80s into the 90s. So
now it's huge.
Well, they don't really do Touchstone films anymore if it's not completely extinct. But
really, I feel like maybe I'm thinking of I just recognize that name so well.
It's so recognizable in terms of the 80s and 90s movies. So one of my top three favorite films is Big Business with Dude, I love that movie so much. You have no idea. It's what made me fall in love with New York City. It came out in 88. So I know that's before your time, but my mom used to watch it, and it's Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin, and they play identical twins who are separated at birth. And it is the best movie ever. I watch it all the time. Just so y'all know, right now, it is on HBO Go for some friggin' reason. I don't know why, but it's on HBO Go. But I have it, I have the DVD. I have the DVD and I have it on my Amazon. And I watch it all the time. But they list all of her Touchstone movies that she's been in. So plus she's done a lot of recordings of Disney songs for the films. Really great example is Hunchback of Notre Dame. She did she did the pop, you know how they always do a pop version of the main song?
Yes.
And she did God Help the Outcasts. So she's done a ton for Disney. So I love her so much.
I'm going to have to listen to that. I love that song. I didn't know she did that.
Yeah. And then she sang at the Oscars. She sang The Place Where Lost Things Go, which is from Mary Poppins Returns. For some reason, Emily would not sing the song, whatevs, but Bette Midler sang it. It was very nice. Who else is here? James Earl Jones. Oh, my God. What can we say about him?
James Earl Jones.
First off, let's start chronologically. So Darth Vader, obviously.
Right.
And Mufasa, both in the animated film and now coming up in the live action. I mean, you can't say anything else about. He is very much a Disney legend.